My name is Celena Crews. I teach at Fort White High School in Fort White, Florida. I've been a classroom teacher for 11 years. Teaching was not my original profession. As long as I could remember growing up, I wanted to work in the space program. I got my degree in aerospace engineering from the University of Florida, and I started my career as an engineer on the International Space Station program at Kennedy Space Center here in Florida. Within the next couple of years, I transferred to Johnson Space Center, got married, we had some life changes, and I ended up moving with my husband to his hometown of Lake City in rural North Florida. Without a space program or really anywhere for an aerospace engineer to work, I had to start thinking about what I wanted to do with the next phase of my life. And I thought, well, since I can't work in the space program anymore, maybe I could go teach and I could inspire some kids to go and do what I did, to help kids realize that if they dream it, they can do it, and if they work hard enough, they really can achieve whatever they set their mind to. My main goal as an educator is to inspire my students to find their passion and persevere through whatever challenges stand between them and their goals and dreams. As far as molding my students, I teach high school, 10th grade through 12th grade. So the ages that I teach, the kids are really close to being out in the real world or heading to college, and really that next phase of figuring out what is their adult life going to look like. I hope to instill in them a sense of confidence that whatever it is they want to do, whatever challenges come their way, that they can figure it out. To understand, life isn't easy, school isn't easy, and that no matter what, they can still do whatever it is they set their mind to. I believe my background in engineering, along with my experience in education, helped me to be a more understanding first senior mentor. I know what it's like outside of the world of education because of my background in engineering. I know the kind of jobs that we're trying to prepare the kids for and get them inspired to pursue. I also understand the challenges that come along with being an educator and working inside the education system, from the student perspective to district and state laws and policies. I think all of us first senior mentors have experienced some challenges in working within schools. We know what a wonderful thing FIRST is, and we know how it will benefit our kids, and we know the power of getting more kids involved in FIRST. And it can be frustrating sometimes when you reach those roadblocks and those barriers that happen in education. But I also understand why those roadblocks are there, and I have overcome them myself as a teacher starting a robotics team years ago. So I think it all plays together. I'm a better educator because of my role as a first senior mentor, and I'm a better first senior mentor because of my role as an educator. First of all, I think we've made a lot of really great progress here as far as FIRST opportunities go. We've had a FIRST robotics competition team for 10 years. Since then, we've started FIRST LEGO League and FIRST Tech Challenge teams throughout our districts. Most schools have a team, and I think that's a really big success for a rural area like this. I would love to see more STEM education opportunities and FIRST opportunities for our students, both at our schools and throughout our community. I think it helps students, ask that question of, when am I going to use this? It helps them apply what they learn in the classroom, and I really believe that FIRST and other STEM education opportunities provide a great bridge for students to connect what they learn in the classroom with careers and jobs out in the real world. As far as the impact it will have on our community as a whole, I have a dream that if we keep building it, if we keep providing these opportunities for the kids, they can see themselves doing these things in the future. They'll find their passion. They'll figure out what it is they want to be when they grow up, and they'll go learn and develop their skills. And whether that's on the job training or it's going off to a university and working somewhere else, my dream is that eventually those kids will come back home and help develop more STEM-related industry here in Columbia County and the surrounding areas in rural North Florida. I think it has the power to make a huge impact on our community. And honestly, that's why I got into education, to inspire kids to do just that, to realize that they can do whatever it is they set out to do, that there are amazing STEM opportunities both in education and in the real world. Some people have that one teacher that when you ask them that question, they know exactly who it was that inspired them. But I had to think about this for a while. I didn't really have that one teacher, but there were a few along the way now that I look back. First, Miss Bowles, my 5th grade teacher. I was standing outside my elementary school with her and my classmates when the Space Shuttle Challenger lifted off with Krista McAuliffe, who was to be the first teacher in space. Obviously, that did not go so well. And I remember talking to my teacher and asking her, what do we do? How do we fix this? And she said something to me. She said, I think NASA is going to need some more engineers. For me, I don't think I'd ever heard that term before, and it really stuck with me and planted a seed. And I think that that was a pivotal moment in my childhood where I now had this idea, this connection to a career that I wanted to look into, and it stuck with me. And from that point on, I decided that I wanted to be an engineer. Another teacher a little later on, one of my high school math teachers, inspired me in a different way. He knew that I wanted to go to school for engineering, and he told me that I should consider looking into some other options because there was a lot of math and engineering and he wasn't sure if I could do it. So for me, when someone tells me that they don't think I can do something, I'm like, challenge accepted. I have to prove to myself that I can do it. And this particular thing, I think, inspires me even more now than it did back then. Now, as a high school math teacher, when I see my students struggle, I see myself in them, and I know that with determination and perseverance, I know that they can do it. They can learn whatever it is that they're struggling with. May not get it on the first try or the second or third. May take a little extra effort on their part and on mine, but I know that they can get there, and I hope that that's one of the ways that I do inspire and serve my students. Another teacher along the way, one of my college professors, Dr. Fitzcoy at the University of Florida, he was my senior design project supervising professor, and I also had him for a few classes. So we had a lot of opportunity to have conversations along the way, and I remember doubting myself and I wasn't sure, as I was a senior and I was about to graduate and was looking at career opportunities, I wasn't sure if I'd learned enough. Like, did I get good enough grades? Did I learn what I needed to learn? Was I ready? And I remember having some conversations with him, and he really instilled some confidence in me. He told me that he would much rather work with and hire someone who was passionate about what they did and who was determined to overcome challenges and to keep going even if they struggled, over someone that was, more focused on grades and, getting straight A's. So that really definitely inspired me and helps me feel like I was ready to go and accept one of those job offers waiting for me.